Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with women's cross-country coach Mike Dager, volleyball captain Kelly McManus, and field hockey captain Mary Virginia Long. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and Lee athletics. The volleyball team ran its winning streak to 15 matches, beating Emory and Henry and Mary Washington in straight sets at the Warner Center. Men's soccer picked up a vital 1-0 ODAC road win over Hampton-Sydney, while the women's team remained unbeaten with the 2-0 victory at Randolph. Field hockey fell 5-2 to 16th-ranked Mary Washington at the turf field, and at Salisbury's Don Cathcart Invitational, the WNL men's and women's cross-country teams both placed 6th overall. I'm joined now by women's cross-country coach Mike Dager. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Jeremy.
How is the transition going during your first year as Washington and Lee's head coach?
So far, it seems that things are going fairly smoothly. The women are responding well to the training, and the seniors are doing a great job of being leaders. They really reached out to the first years and made them feel welcome, and it was kind of, we arrived as a family, and we've been working together and working well since preseason.
What have the team's results so far indicated to you about the Generals' potential success in the postseason?
I think we have an opportunity to improve both on our ODEC and regional finish from a year ago. So we were 4th at the conference meet and 10th at regionals. So I think a realistic goal would be to improve on both of those finishes from 2013.
Gettysburg Invitational is the only meet on the schedule for the month of October. With that in mind, what is the focus for the Generals during your training sessions over the next month?
With only one race, it's going to allow us to really focus on training and preparing for the ODEC championship. The next 2 weeks are going to be pretty difficult and intense. We'll get a little bit of recovery in before the Gettysburg race, but they may be a little bit banged up for that, and they know that. The focus is on November 1st and November 15th, the races that really matter. So they'll be working hard, and I think they're looking forward to it.
You have a big roster that features 12 underclassmen. How bright is the future for Washington and Lee?
I think the future is very bright. There's a lot of talent in those classes, and they're working really hard. And 2 of the first years are really coming on strong. Rachel Steffen she was our 2nd runner at the home meet and our 3rd runner this past weekend at Salisbury. And Lily Arnold had a big race this weekend. So things are really coming together, and I think the future looks very bright.
Mike, thanks for joining us here. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks so much, Jeremy.
With me now is Kelly McManus, senior volleyball captain from Osprey, Florida. Kelly, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Washington and Lee enters Wednesday night's match with Shenandoah on a 15-game winning streak. What has enabled the team to start off the season on such a strong note?
We've had a lot of trust in our system and trust that everyone's going to complete their individual roles well, which has made the beginning of our season get off to a good start, especially like winning games, but also winning them in 3 sets as opposed to 4 or 5.
Several players have made contributions to the team on the back row so far this year. How strong are the Generals defensively?
We are really strong defensively. As a DS, our position group works really hard. We have a really great system, giving each other a lot of feedback. But beyond the DSs, the pin hitters do an amazing job off blocking. The setters work so hard on defense, and people who are even committed to just playing the front row work extra to be able to off block really hard.
The Generals still have a lot of tough ODAC competition left on the schedule, not to mention top 10 opponents like Wittenberg and Emory. After tonight, you also have just 1 home match left the rest of the way. How can a challenging stretch like that benefit the team?
You know, we always talk about how we want to peak at the right point in the season, that hopefully being the national championship match. So it's been great that we've had this success so far, but we want to keep improving every day, especially like at home and on the road, so that we can peak at the right time. So having tough opponents in the future is going to be great because we'll be a better team by then also.
On the court, what are the keys to success over the second half of the year?
Really communication, continuing to trust in our system. We talk about getting 1% better every day in all facets of the game. And if we can avoid injury, that would be great also.
Kelly, thanks for joining us here. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
With me now is Mary Virginia Long, senior field hockey captain from Richmond. Mary Virginia, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me here.
After a tough 2013, Washington and Lee is 5-5 at the end of September so far this year. You've had some great wins, tough losses to some really good competition like Lynchburg and Mary Washington. Overall, how pleased have you been with the way the season's gone so far?
So far, pretty pleased with how it's gone. I know we can still do a little bit better, but we've come out really strong and we're hanging in there, and I think we're going to continue to do well.
You're one of 4 seniors on the roster. All of you serve as co-captains for the team. If you would describe the dynamic of the senior class that you're a part of.
Well, the 4 of us are really close. Obviously, we've had a lot of time to bond, and we all have our own different strengths, and we've brought them all together, and we just work really well together. So, I mean, we have some that are more on the serious side, some more that are more casual and goofy, and it just sort of all brings us all together. Great dynamic for the team. We've set a really good tone.
Your first 2 ODAC games have been on the road, but that means 4 of your last 6 conference contests will be played at the turf field. What does the team need to do to capitalize on that home field advantage?
Well, we're lucky. Our turf field is sort of unlike any of the other fields that other teams will be playing on. And so we just got to keep up our pace of the game. We can't let the other teams sort of slow us down. We're used to our field turf. And we just got to play up to our pace all 70 minutes of the game. We can't let down.
What are the team's goals for the second half of 2014?
Definitely just we got to win the ODAC games. Those are the most important. We need to keep playing strong. We need to win those games. And our goal is to hopefully have a bye the first week of the ODAC, so that means we would be top 2.
Mary, Virginia, thanks for joining us here. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much.
It's time now for a look at the upcoming weekend. The football team travels to Greensboro to open up ODAC play against Guilford at the Armfield Athletic Center. Back in Lexington, men's soccer meets up with conference rival Bridgewater, while field hockey plays host to Ferrum. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.